Hey, welcome. And now we are going to be dealing with the web admin panel a bit. And what we are going to be doing in this section is we are going to retrieve our registered vendors, and also we're going to be able to either approve or reject new vendors. And it's going to look just like this. Okay. Now to do this, we have to head back to our VS Code. And the first step is to create a new file for this. Within this widget folder, we can create a new file and we can call this vendor underscore widget vendor dot. And now we can create a stateless widget. Okay, vendor widget. And over here, we need to highlight and use Ctrl and dot in order to import the material.dat package. And what we want to do, in order to easy our life, we want to create a reusable widget so we can always reuse it multiple times or as we want. To do this, we can just go ahead and create a function and we can specify we only want to be able to use widget properties within this function. And we can call this function vendor data. Great. And now we want to return the expanded widget. I think you've seen this before. And we can get rid of this child first. And within this expanded widget, it has a property known as flex, which is basically referring to the space we need between each container or between the next widget, which is going to come inside it. You can see over here you can see this box is smaller than this, and this is bigger than this. You can see. So that's what this flex is basically referring to. If we say one is gonna one is gonna be smaller, and three is gonna be bigger than one. If we say four, it means we want the space to be more bigger than three. And if we say five, that means we want the 5 to be bigger than the 4. You're going to see this in action, do not worry. And what we can do is we can make this dynamic. So whenever we call this function called vendor data, we then have to pass in the the number or the space we want. So to do this, over here, it is expecting a number. So it's going to be a type of int. And also we can say it can be null. And we can call this flex. And over here now, we can pass in the flex. And we need this over here. And now we can have a child. We could also add the semicolon over here. And the child is going to be a container widget. I'm going to get rid of this. And in order to have access to a lot of styles property the container has, we can then have the decoration and then the box decoration class. And basically, we want to give a border to this. This is the border you're seeing over here. This border you're seeing over here. Okay, we want to give a border. This is gonna be border dot all. That is for all size. And within the border dot all, it has a property known as color, and this is gonna be colors dot gray. Okay, great. Sounds good. And as you know, within the container, it has a property known as child. And what we can do is We can also make this dynamic. Now back to the finished product. You can see over here, we have this image widget, right? And over here we have this test widget. And over here we have this test widget. And over here we have this test widget. And over here we have the button widget, right? So what we can do is instead of passing just the image widget over here, we can also make this dynamic. Over here, we can create a variable and it's going to be a type of widget. That means whenever we call this vendor data, we can pass in any type of widget, that is the container, or we can pass in a test widget, or we can even pass in the button widget or whatsoever type of widget we want to pass. And we can call this widget also. Great. And over here, we then have to pass in the widget. So whenever we call this function, whatever type of widget we passed in is gonna accept it. Sounds good. And for example, we could say child. Sorry, it's gonna show you a quick example and get rid of this child and vendor data. And now you can see it's asking for the flex, and for the flex we can say one, and for the widget it can be the container or whatsoever widget we basically want to pass.